Hey guys, welcome to my channel Hammond's Hobbies. My name's Glenn and today we're going to do part 2 of my recent huge PSA submission and what scores we got back. So let's get right into it. Hey guys, if you like any of these slabs that you see, a lot of my spares duplicates will be going on sale over at hammondshobbies.com. So by the time you're watching this video, these should all be listed on my website. So feel free to check that out if there's anything that you're interested in for your own collection. So let's get into today's video. And we are gonna start off by going through this back here. So we recently opened up quite a bit of Flagship 2021. I actually really like Flagship 2021. Obviously the Flags of Foundation are probably some of my favourite inserts the Tops have ever done. So we got the Flags of Foundation for Max Verstappen and that came back a 10. Get in. Then we also hit a Max Verstappen PSA 10 for an out of 10 card. This is a black out of 10 parallel from Flagship 2022. Thank you to Tom for hitting that for me over at Northwest Memorabilia. We have Lewis Hamilton with that confetti image, one of my favourite images from the Chrome set of Lewis Hamilton with all that confetti in the background. This is the orange-red short print, really like that one. We got the Mercedes boys. I thought this was quite fitting because the light blue looks almost like team colour match. Again, that got a PSA 10. We actually got really lucky with a lot of these grades. We got Max Verstappen in the light blue as well from Flagship 21. PSA 10. Hey! We got the dark blue. That came back a PSA 8. Wah, wah, of a Max Verstappen. We got a Max Verstappen in gold out of 50. Hey! And that came back a 10. Nice. And then we got Max Verstappen's image variation. This is, I never thought this would get a 10. I actually thought the centering of it was way off. It looks like it's more over this side than this side. Even now, I'm looking at it in the slab, it still looks like that. But it got a PSA 10. The person must have been quite generous at PSA. We got Lewis Hamilton doing a shoey in the light blue with a PSA 10. Max Verstappen in a purple in a PSA 10. Lewis Hamilton's Flags of Foundation. We got the 10 in it. Come on, baby. Really happy with that. So I've got Lewis and Max both in 10s. We got Lewis Hamilton dark blue in a PSA 9. So the dark blues for some reason haven't graded as well as the others. And then I've got a Liam Lawson portrait in a PSA 10. I thought he would have got signed for Red Bull by now, or at least a RB, but it hasn't happened. Then we move on to a selection of the Tops Now cards. So I was buying 20 of every single image that come out every week, and then I was picking 2 that I thought looked quite nice. I mean, they all turn up looking pretty nice actually, and most of these have got PSA 10, so I'm going to flick through these, but these are all the Tops Now. So we've got 2 10s for Max. I sent like a couple off of each image. We got Zhou Guanyu with a 9 and then a 10. Then we got Yuki Tsunoda with a 10. Another Yuki Tsunoda 10. Max 10. Another 10. Lando Norris. This is a nice one. Obviously of him first podium of the season. We've got 2 of them. Both came back PSA 10s, which is awesome. We got Oliver Bearman. I sent a few of these off and I think all 3 of them came back 10s. So we've got 3 Oliver Bearmans. That's his very first card. Obviously just been signed to Haas for next year. Carlos Sainz. That one actually came back a 9. And oddly enough, I sent 2 of this one off and the other one came back saying it was trimmed, I believe. So they couldn't grade it. So that's odd. Top done me dirty. We got the Ferrari Austrian Grand Prix, both with a PSA 10. Max Verstappen skipping down the pit straight there. Both PSA 10s. We got another Max Verstappen crossing the checkered flag there. Both PSA 10s. Carlos Sainz. Both, oh no, one came back a 9, one came back a 10. And then we have the parallels that I hit from the start of this year. So these are the 3 parallels I got. We got a Max Verstappen out of 99 in the red. And that came back a PSA 10. Get in. Another Max Verstappen parallel in a red out of 99. That came back a 10 as well. And then we've got the out of 99 for Carlos Sainz, and that came back at 10 as well. So all 3 parallels all came back 10, so that's awesome. The tops nows do seem to grade very well if you submit them as soon as you receive them. Next up, we have a selection of different chromes that I sent off, different chrome parallels. These are mostly Lewis and Max. So we have Max Verstappen in a gold purple, and that came back a 10. I have his main portrait in a black and white ray wave. That came back an 8. We got Lewis Hamilton sitting on the tyre there. That came back a 10. And for some reason with these ones, they've actually like team bagged it, which is unusual. I don't know why they do that with only certain ones, but yeah, there we go. Lewis Hamilton, PSA 10. I've got another one of that image, but the gold wave out of 50. Go on, Lewis. And that came back a 10 as well. Hey. Then we have a really nice low numbered card. This is a sapphire of Sergio Perez, red sapphire out of 5. And it's come back a PSA 9. What do you guys think of the red sapphire? I think the red sapphires look amazing. We then have Lewis Hamilton's portrait, purple, I should say, purple portrait, but that came back a 9. Wah. Max Verstappen on the purple checkered flag with the Red Bull boys, that came back a 10. Max Verstappen with the Mexican flag, again, PSA 10. We got a Pierre Gasly X Factor. I call these checkered flags, but this is a red out of 5. So this is 4 of 5. And these only come, I believe, only in hobby boxes. So you can't open the light boxes to hit these. You have to open hobby boxes. So these are quite expensive cards to collect, really. Then we've got Lando Norris in the sapphire portrait, which came back a 9, which is a bit of a shame. Gold sapphire portrait. Lewis Hamilton, hand on chest, that came back a 10. Lance Stroll gold portrait sapphire, came back a 9. So we got loads of 9s, loads of 10s. I think we did pretty well there. Next up, I have a selection of team logos. I know some of you love team logos. This is an AlphaTauri, and that came back a PSA 10. This is from the Chrome 23 set. And then this one's the big one, a McLaren refractor logo from Chrome 2020, and it came back a PSA 10. Get it? That's probably the biggest card here, actually. I think that's probably worth more than the outer 10 Max and the image variation. So yeah, well happy with the McLaren refractor getting a 10. 2020 Chrome is notorious for grading sort of roundabout 8s. We have David Coulthard in a pink parallel, and that came back a PSA 10, which is quite unusual for turbo attacks. We also have the Ferrari pink parallel logo, so I sort of went down a logo bundle route. That one came back a PSA 8 though. And then we've got these industry conference. So I actually managed to get hold of a pack of these. I opened them up and I've submitted them all for grading. We got Zhou Guanyu with a 9, Valtteri Bottas with the 10, Lance Stroll with the 10, and Esteban Ocon with the 10. But Pierre Gasly came back with an 8. Wah, wah. And then we've got Nicholas Latifi came back with a 9. So apart from the 8 there, I'm pretty happy with those. So that's it. That's everything I got. That's another 60 slabs to add to the collection. That means I've currently got about 200 slabs that are all up for sale or trade. obviously depending on what comes my way. So what do you guys think of these slabs? Which one is your favourite? I'd love to hear from you. Comment down below. You can also follow me over on Instagram under the name Hammond's Hobbies, or you could join the Facebook group, which is called F1 Sports Cards. And you can obviously check me out over on Whatnot, where I'll probably sell some of these off in £1 auctions live over on the Whatnot app. The link to that is in the description down below. If you use my link, you'll get £10 of free credit once you make your first purchase. So that's it from me, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.